for that. Wait for the foghorn to go. Well, hello there. Welcome to the second part of our unboxing video for the new Braumeister. If you haven't already checked out the first part, I recommend you do that. Ben and I focus on the hardware of the new Braumeister. In this video, we focus more on the controller and all the upgrades there. So without further ado, I'm going to get out the way and I hope you enjoy. It's plugged in. All right. All right.
Hey, there we go. I really do like that logo as well.
Yeah, so they've added some fancy new graphics, is my understanding.
Ooh. Well, we're getting a reading. We're getting temperature. So before we go any further, I'm just going to pour a little bit of water in there just to cover the elements and to cover ourselves.
Right.
Just double checking that the valves are closed.
Yeah.
It's the classic rookie error in homebrewing is
Always make sure you're
filling beer or water into a vessel that has an open tap.
Yeah.
So that was from the hot water tap, so temperature's going up, which is a good sign. It's responding to the inputs. And yeah, looks pretty nice in there. Forgot to mention before actually as well, one new feature of this while we're looking at the temperature changing when we add the water in is that the old temperature probes were like these little kind of things in the bottom of the thing, so it's still super accurate. But just at the bottom, they've actually incorporated the central tie rod now has a temperature probe inside it.
Oh, it's going to lead to that, yeah.
So it is, it's measuring the temperature from all the way from inside the mash, so you're getting really accurate reading.
So yeah, I guess the probe comes up above the level tube and stuff. Is that what I'm assuming anyway?
Yeah.
So that you're getting a more a general reading, I suppose, as opposed to it being on the bottom. So that's, yeah.
I just noticed as well, something we forgot to mention before, but they've got volume markings written on the central tie rod now as well. So in the past they had the little notches marked.
Oh yeah. Cool.
But if you didn't know the system, you didn't know what those notches represented, whereas now they've got 10, 15, 20, 25.
Actually have the liter volume markings. That is handy. But next you're going to play with the controller.
Yeah. So let's just for the sake of it, go into the settings menu. So first one, language. Let's stick with English, I think, for the purposes of keeping this relatively easy. I do like a challenge, but we're gonna stick to the native tongue for this one.
Yeah.
But you got a few options. Now, these units come with Wi-Fi as standard, which we kind of touched on before. So you don't need to buy the Wi-Fi module to then attach onto and have like connected on in a precarious, wet sort of
I guess it's another
environment.
Potential point of ingress, water ingress.
So this clever little box does it all for you. And we've actually already got it hooked up to our Wi-Fi network. But as you can see, it's picking up all the different Wi-Fi networks in the area from all the different businesses near us. And it, similar to your phone, if you go to a place where you've logged into their Wi-Fi before, it will automatically connect to that Wi-Fi. So very handy if you've got a group of friends that you sort of brew with, you go to their house, your Braumeister will automatically connect.
I like it. It's pretty responsive to your finger too. It's like,
yeah, it's a really
smartphone-ish.
Really responsive touchscreen, which is very nice. So my Speidel. So we've already got, again, logged in for our grain and grape with our little passwords there.
Yep. And my Speidel, for those who don't know, it's like their little database sort of brewing community / software on their website.
Yeah.
That the controller connects to, and you can log your brews and do all the
not just your brews, but we mentioned before that this has Bluetooth as well. So if you're using this as a fermenter though, and you're using the tilt hydrometer, it will log the. So this unit here, because it's got Wi-Fi, will speak to your tilt hydrometer.
Yep.
And this can be your Wi-Fi controller, so you don't have to have a separate Wi-Fi controller next to your fermenter.
Yeah. Okay.
And this will also log the data to your 𝐲𝗎𝒻𝒻 as well, so you can basically keep a good record not just of your mashes and your boils, but of your ferments as well.
So your gravity, it'll measure your gravity and log with that.
Really have a full kind of rundown of what went on in the brew so that you can try to sort of replicate that, which I think is very, very cool. Setting pump brake. So this was a really cool thing. So the pump brake is something that the Braumeisters do automatically throughout the mash, but it just used to do it on its own.
It had a set time to give the pump a break, a rest. Yeah, pump break. Basically, not overloaded.
So now you can actually set. So it's defaulted to 9 minutes on, 1 minute off. But you can change that. So you can change it to all sorts of different things: 10 minutes, 9 minutes, etc. And also set the minimum temperature for the pump brake to occur as well. So that's a really handy feature that you can control that now. Sounds. This is all new to me, by the way. We set up the Wi-Fi in the 𝐲𝗎𝒻𝒻, but everything else is very much new. So I'm breaking the illusion of the unboxing. So you can crank up the notification sounds, which is very cool.
Okay.
And I'm sure as new updates come out as well, these features will probably be expanded on as well.
Yeah, true.
Again, all very handy. All right, so my recipes. So this will auto sync with your 𝐲𝗎𝒻𝒻 account. And about this Braumeister. So we're just going through all the settings basically. Cool. So we've got all the different information about this specific Braumeister. So this is the current firmware that we're running. So 0.4.2, which is the current. It will automatically update to the new firmware.
They were saying that's a good feature. So it's like your smartphone. It'll if it's connected to your Wi-Fi, it'll every now and then check and just update.
And we did check as well, and you can hook this up. So if you set your mobile data as a Wi-Fi hotspot, you can hook this up to that as well. So
okay, cool.
As long as you've got, so our software's already up to date, so we can't update it further. But yeah, cool. Everything else is pretty much as it was. So you create your recipes in here. It does have a few extra things in here though. So we've actually got brewing and fermentation in the recipes here. We've also got a notes section, and you can describe things. So you can go into like your color and your bitterness and descriptors, original gravity, all those sorts of things. So very cool.
They were saying some nice little graphics pop up which I guess we'll see when we start brewing on it eventually.
Recipe name, 𝐺𝒐. Style. Oh wow, cool.
Okay.
Style. It is let's call it a Pils.
Pils.
It's a Pils. Date's already there. Oh wow, so we really go into quite a bit of detail here too. So water for sparging and the brewing water. So let's say 25 litres of that. Let's say 5 litres of that. Oh, so it's going to calculate everything for you, yeah. That's wild. Original gravity. There we go, cool. All right. So yeah, so it's just a specific way that you got to input it. So that's fine. So we're 1048. shooting for 4.8 kilos of Pilsner malt.
Jeez, I didn't even put in.
So it's fully giving us our EBC. This is so cool. And then it just goes back to normal. So you got your temperatures, your rests, boil time. 6 hop additions now.
Yeah, right. Okay.
And again, you're adding your hops with the alphas and everything. This is really, really cool, guys. This is way too cool. And then you can go into fermentation, add yeasts, add dry hops, add like sort of adjuncts. Oh, this is way too cool.
So yeah, lots more playing around to do.
This is getting me really kind of excited to play on this thing. I can't believe that so it's got its own recipe builder built into the unit.
Comprehensive one at that.
Yeah. So I mean, we always talk about the importance of calculating water chemistry. So I'd still recommend doing that.
Yeah.
But that might even be an update down the track.
Your salt additions and stuff like that.
This is very, very cool.
Like those.
So we go into manual. Oh wow. Okay. So it's set to 20. So if we were to ramp this up,
nice slider.
59. Turn on the heat. So it actually asked if there was water in there before it would switch on the element. So that I didn't need to be cautious earlier. I was worried about switching it on without having any water in the unit, but it's actually going to ask you if there's water in there before it will heat.
It'll just remind you. Make sure you sure there's water in here.
I like this slider as well. This is cool.
Yeah.
Kind of. Yeah, very cool. And you can actually set timers in manual mode.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
So that's a super cool thing. Yep. Yeah, you can. So that's a super cool thing if you are doing double mashing, which is something that we do quite a lot here with the work kits. Is that you can set it in manual mode at your mash temp for the period of time of your mash, of your first mash.
Oh, God.
Sorry, we're being crouching down. It's a little bit rough on the old knees. You can have it in manual mode. Set it for an hour timer. It'll beep at the end of your hour, and then you can start your brew start and then start your second mash. And that way it's all timed, it's all controlled, everything is as it needs to be. So that's a really, really awesome additional feature as well.
Yeah, cool.
I don't even know if that was necessarily the intended function of having a timer on manual mode, but
but it's
something that we here could definitely utilize a lot with our double mashing. I can't think of much else to.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's certainly a good overview. I'll adjust the camera and we'll wrap up. Yep.
Final thoughts. Personally, I'm really excited to brew on it. We'll be having a demo. I will be brewing on this unit. I think I'm going to brew an alt beer.
Ah, cool. Okay.
Just
keep it German.
Keep it German. And simple.
Yeah.
But I'm really, really, really keen to play with those new features and to put the recipe in there, like build the recipe in there and see sort of how it handles it.
Okay.
Yeah, really, really excited. What do you reckon?
Yeah, this is my first ever glance at it. I'm still taking it all in, really. So yeah, really, I can't wait to see it in action. I think that's going to be the
real test.
The
isn't
test.
It?
Yeah, I keep looking up because I'm just making sure that's still recording. I mean, the light's flashing, but yeah, I'm not surprised that it's cool.
Yeah, it's that thing, isn't it? Like we said it before, but just you're kind of looking at the old Braumeister, like going, how are they going to improve on this? And then they've done it in like 12 or 13 different places.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, how are they going to improve on this one now? Like,
I know.
Those Germans and their nous for engineering things, but when we were just playing with that controller, I just got completely carried away and lost in the gleeful fun of it. Like.
Well, maybe we'll throw it over to you. What do you guys think? Are you excited about the new Braumeisters? I know that some of the Facebook's groups were brimming with excitement at for a few months now when it was announced. So there's been a lot of speculation and a lot of talk about the new features. So yeah, what do you think? Chuck a comment down below.
And come and hang out when we brew on it. Come and see it in action.
Tune in to the live demos. As usual, links below in the description. You can find a link to the schedule of our upcoming demos on our website. I'll put a link down there so you'll at least know when that's coming up. Of course, all the usual, like, subscribe, hit the bell notification thingy. That's always a good way to be notified whenever we upload new content.
And when we go live.
And when we go live, exactly. So when, have a look, book it in your calendar, and we'll have some fun. Till next time.
I could just sit here all day and play with that.
Yeah. Oh, it is the kind of thing you would need a whole day, wouldn't you? Just to voice control. That's what they need. That's the next innovation. Make me coffee.
Yeah.